everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Elk Grove Television Game of the Week. My name's Kyle Smith. As Jason Derulo would say, I'm flying solo tonight. No color commentary, but that's all right. It's going to be a beautiful night of soccer tonight. We got 3 more days of summer, and what better way to spend the last 3 days of summer than a varsity contest between the Elk Grove Grenadiers and the Buffalo Grove Bison. In this one, the Buffalo Grove Bison are definitely the team to beat in this conference. They've played very good soccer their last 5 games. They're 3 wins, 1 loss, and a tie in their last 5 versus Elk Grove. They've really struggled in their last 4. They've lost all 4 contests, and in those 4 contests, they've either been shut out or only scored 1 goal. For Elk Grove tonight, that's the way they're going to have to play. They're going to have to play mistake-free soccer. Ball possession is key, and make sure that they're not allowing the Bison to have easy shots at their netminder tonight here at the home of the Grenadiers. For the Grenadiers, really, this is a team that's known for their defense. The guy to watch out for is Luis Gonanez. He's a senior forward, number 2. Watch out for him for Elk Grove tonight. For the Buffalo Grove Bison, now they're coming off their first conference victory, first conference championship in 30 years. And actually, that same season, they won the state title. Actually, on that team was Brian McBride, who ended up playing for the national team. So this is a Buffalo Grove Bison team that won the conference title last year, but they lost in the first round to Round Lake. So they're looking for some vengeance, and they're going to try to take it in on Elk Grove Village tonight, a team that's lost 4 in a row, and the last time they played here at home wasn't so pretty. They lost 6-1 to Wheeling. That was a tough one. They gave up a hat trick to the opposing player and 4 assists to another one. So for Elk Grove tonight, they got to play mistake-free soccer, really good on both the offensive and defensive ends. Any chance they get, they got to put it in the net because they're not known for their offense. They're known for their midfield and defensive play. And, you know, if Buffalo Grove has a couple goals tonight, that might be the difference, as Elk Grove is not known for their offense. As we see both teams with good sportsmanship shaking hands. Buffalo Grove, they're led by Brian Perez. He's got 8 goals and 7 assists on the season. He has gotten lightning in a bottle for every game of the year for the Bison this season. And they got a lot of other players that are getting it done. It's not just the Brian Perez show. These stats courtesy of the Daily Herald. You got Burke with 4 goals and 3 assists, and you keep going down the list here. At least 4 players have 2 goals for Buffalo Grove. Kudroff and Nettie has a save percentage of 80%, and his backup, he'll be wearing number 35 tonight. That's Adam Sempak. Now, you might see Sempak, especially if this game gets out of hand. For Elk Grove tonight, like we said, they got to watch out for making sure that there's not shots at least 15 yards away or closer of their goalkeeper tonight. And it looks like number 0 is going to be manning between the both posts. It's going to be Sean Martinez in net for the Grenadiers tonight. He might need to have a shutout to force a tie or win, because an Elk Grove team, they're having trouble with their offense. In fact, the most goals they've scored this year was 2 goals. That was the season opener against Niles North. Since then, it's either been 1 goal or they've been shut out. Taking the kick for Buffalo Grove is going to be number 9, Alexis Escobar, a junior forward. He stands at 5'7" and 134 pounds. 40-minute halves. There is no stoppage time, no extra time. Just as if you're watching a football game. The American football, as they say in the United States of America. That one's cleared by Elk Grove, and back and forth we go. Now in possession is the Grenadiers at the 47. Cross-pitch pass, not able to keep it in, is 14 Palax, and it goes out of bounds. Sideline pass. What a nice little play that was. Behind the back kick, no look, and he tries to get to his teammate, number 9 Escobar, and it goes out of bounds. Sideline pass for the Grenadiers, and they're going to say it was last touch by 7 Torres. This will be a free kick. Brian Perez, junior forward, he's their best goal scorer. 15 points on the season. What a start. Oh, almost goes in off the crossbar. And we've just started. That's 57 seconds into the game, and now a goal. Well, that's one thing that Elk Grove Village wanted to avoid, is giving up goals, because they are not known for their defense, but they're going to say he was offside. Didn't get a good look at it, but the officials are closer than I am. Thought he was onside, but No instant replay tonight. They don't use that till you get to the major soccer games. Not even in college until you get to Division I. That lead pass stolen away by Elk Grove. Then they'll go on the attack, still at midfield. Now out to about the 49-yard line. Stop and start play. And now back to the Elk Grove area. Now at the 50-yard line. Good lead pass. Back and forth we go. Ball possession in favor of Elk Grove after they started off the game sluggish. Stolen away, and a huge pass down to the 30-yard line, stolen away by the Grenadiers. Grenadiers they're not fooling around with it. They're making sure to get it out quick. I'm going to say that the Bison were offside. 37-32. Great job by our cameraman getting that score up ready for us. Goal kick, a beauty, right up in the air. A lot of topspin on it, but it's headed away by the Bison. Good job by the Bison getting it out. On the attack goes Buffalo Grove. Lead pass from Burke. And now back to midfield. Burke's had a good season, 4 goals and 3 assists. Thought that they had one early on, but an offside call against Escobar, and that's smothered up by the goalkeeper. And a lead pass out to his teammate. Number 5, Villegas. Out of bounds, looked like it was last touched by 23, and the official agrees. Coughlin was the last one to touch it. Still on the sideline. Remember, it's where the yellow line is, not where the grass ends. So it's kicked out of bounds. So the yellow line, a little bit different from the actual football field where you have the white sidelines. That wasn't touched, so that would be out of bounds on Buffalo Grove. Lead pass, one-timer. What a save by Zero. Martinez, huge between the pipes. I don't know if he saw it, but luckily he was right in front of the post and was able to keep his balance and make a huge save. Near us at midfield, Elk Grove. Good ball possession. They're just not able to finish when they're on the attack. At the 15-yard line, slide tackle attempt, unsuccessful. Last touch by the Grenadiers. Goes off the elbow of a Elk Grove player, looked like number 3, Benitez. And it's stolen away as Perez thought he had a good shot at setting up a centering pass, but stolen away by the Bison. Now at the 30-yard line. Back out to midfield. Negrete Marza past the 30. He's got a lot of speed from 25 yards out. Deflected and an easy save as the deflection allowed it to slow down, allowing the goalkeeper to make an easy save with both hands. No one touches it. Now at midfield, headed up in the air, picked up by the Grenadiers at the 48. Varsity Stalker, still no score. If you're just joining us, the Bison almost scored less than a minute into the game, but an offside call against Escobar, and we're still tied at 0-0 with 34:47 left. The Bison trying to get back-to-back conference titles. They have not done that in over 30 years. They beat Frem 2-0 in that conference title last year. And this is an Elk Grove team. They play very well, not in conference play, but once they're in the MSL, they struggle. Last year they went 3-9. Now their head coach said that this is a good team, just they don't always match up well against their conference foes, and they're trying to change that this season. What better way to start a new trend tonight against the defending conference champs, as that shot from 35 yards out goes wide right, and the goalkeeper will get a free kick here. Sean Martinez, senior on this team. Very common trait in the game of soccer to have the goalkeeper wear 0 or even 00. Trying to change direction on his dribbling, and now the ball trickles out to the 25-yard line. Lead pass. Both players fight for it, no call, and it goes up in the air. Not the best punt by the goalkeeper. Can't get it past midfield. How about the hair? Represent by number 2, Luis Godinez. Goes out of bounds. Godinez will get it back. Bison thought it was last touch, and the officials agree. They're going to change the call, and it's going to go out to the Bison. Yeah, it sure looked like it was last touch by number 2. That's a heads-up play, though, by the senior. He saw that he might be able to get away with something, tried to make the play off the sideline pass, but the officials were quick to change the call. Now at the 40-yard line, and they're going to try to clear it out, and they do, but Bison player wasn't close enough to the ball to keep it in, and it'll be Elk Grove ball at the 20-yard line. In Europe, we use meters. In America, we use yards and feet. No metric system in America for soccer and football. At the 13-yard line, line drive kick out at the 49, picked up by the Grenadiers, and it'll go out to the Bison at midfield, 31-yard line. Slow little pass out to the 30, and they'll reset their offense. Besides the first minute of action, Elk Grove has looked good tonight, especially on defense. Can they get enough on offense? Worst case scenario is they force a 0-0 tie, but a lot easier said than done, especially against a Buffalo Grove team that has played very well after they started off the season mediocre at 2-2. 3-1-1 in their last 5. Played some tough teams to start off the year, did Buffalo Grove. Meanwhile, Elk Grove has not looked the same since they lost to Prosser. Started off 2-0 and haven't played good soccer since, especially on the offensive end. Trying to change that trend at home. Illegal slide tackle, and Buffalo Grove will get a kick here. Penalty against the Grenadiers. First major one of the night, besides the one off the free kick. It almost became an assist, header style, but offside was Escobar. That was early on. There was a illegal slide tackle, so they had a free kick at about the 15 and a pass to Escobar. He headed it in after the shot went off the crossbar. His rebound attempt, but he was offside. I apologize. It was actually a one-timer off the assist. And now with 30-54. Headed up in the air, stolen by the Grenadiers, but the Bison have numbers on defense. Very quick are the Bison. Or the BGBs for short. Ball still at the midfield area. Now at the EG sign. The coaching staff of the Grenadiers telling them to swing it as they've run out of room on the left side. Able to get it through, surprisingly, as there were 3 Bison players around the ball. And finally they swing it after 30 seconds of screaming from the sidelines. Grenadiers have yet to get a shot on goal tonight. And we're over 10 minutes into the period. Or half, however you want to phrase it. On his left foot, still on his left foot. And poked away by the Bison. That time on defense, number 20, Korzakowski. Actually, it was 23, Coughlin. Now at the 40-yard line. Back to the 35. Lead pass and a good one. Goes off the back foot. And stolen away by the Grenadiers. Here's number 20 of the Grenadiers. Centering pass and cleared by the Bison. Oh, the only freshman on the pitch tonight for the Grenadiers, that's Patrick Meekin. In front now, and it looks like the Bison were offside. Bison got to be better with their disciplines. The second offside call tonight. And the first time it occurred, it cost them a chance at getting the lead. This is playing into the hands of Elk Grove. They like to play low-scoring affairs to the point where the team might get complacent on defense. Their opposing team thinking too much offense and not playing within themselves and maintaining their edge on defense. Elk Grove doesn't get a lot of shots on goal, so when they do, they're going to try to take advantage. Here they are on the attack, stolen away by the Bison. But since early on, they haven't really had a lot of chances against the opposing goalkeeper in Martinez. The senior goalkeeper wearing the white shirt and then long sleeve gray. Out in the air and in the air again, this time to the Grenadiers. Slide tackle from behind. That, of course, is illegal, and another penalty against the Grenadiers, their third of the night. At the 31, setting up a play, and didn't get nearly as much hang time as he would like, and the ball trickles out of bounds. Another goal kick for the Grenadiers. That ball up in the air, stolen away, but he lost his footing and wasn't able to kick it back in. Heads up play by the big number 7, Hector Torres, the junior. Saw that the striker was right behind him, and instead of fooling around with it, just headed it back to his teammate, the goalkeeper, Martinez. Out at the 46, now at the 45-yard line. 30-yard pass attempt, successful to the freshman, but he might have gotten a hand on it. He's yelling that it hit his chest. I agree. They might also be saying it was offside. Looks like he was just offside. Remember, if it's a hand pass, that's a free kick. Looks like they're just going to call offsides. Always hard to see offside. Of course, in hockey, they have the big blue line. Not so much in soccer. It's the imaginary line, making sure you're not cherry picking before the ball is there. Always hard on the officials. I think that's the second hardest call in all of sports besides charging in basketball. Imagine doing charging in the NBA when you got a guy like LeBron that's running 50 miles per hour, and then you got a huge guy like Dwight Howard as he's close to either in the restricted area or outside the restricted area. Imagine trying to call a charging on that. Not easy. That's why those guys are in shape and making sure they make the right call. Meanwhile, the Bison still have not been able to take advantage. You never want to say a less talented team, but definitely the Bison, at least on paper, are the more talented team this year by record. 5-3-1. The Grenadiers 2-4-0. But remember, Elk Grove started the year undefeated 2-0, and they've just lost 4 straight. Trying to get back into their rhythm, and so far so good. It's a 0-0 game. This would be the second tie of the year, assuming that this score remains 0-0. And it's a penalty against the Bison. Taking this kick will be number 11, Diego Negrete Marza. Negrete Marza, just a sophomore, so we're going to see big things to come in the next couple of years from this young man. In the air, a lot on it. Headed up in the air. Bicycle kick, not even close to net, and it's going to be a goal kick for the Bison. .24-13 on the game clock. As the goalkeeper decides his gloves weren't on tight enough, and he decides to get him back on track. Always reminds me of Nomar Garcia-Parra when he would always readjust his batting gloves after every pitch. The famous Red Sox, Dodger, and Cub, as that one's in the air, headed straight down, so the Bison player was able to get it back. As number 10, Brian Perez, leads the team in assists and goals. Now deep in the Elk Grove area. And they'll swing it out to the right. Past the 25, lead pass, give and go. Lack of communication, so they'll have to reset. Now at the 43, headed up in the air. Pass attempt to the freshman. And it goes back out to the 40. Kicked up in the air. And now the Grenadiers on the attack, but the Bison are quick on the take, and they clear it out quickly. That time the official got in the way of it. And now the ball is on the right side. Kept in. Remember, it's where the ball is, not the player. So you can be out of bounds, but if the ball is still in bounds, you can still play it. A lot different than American football. I've always wondered why they call it football when really 99% of the time you're using your hands or your shoulder. You know, you're tackling somebody or using your hands to get the handoff. That lead pass at the 10-yard line. And he's just going to pass it out to his goalkeeper. And they'll reset. Of course, in Europe, they call soccer football. Apologize for the bad accent. And actually, soccer, you actually do use your feet, whereas football, technically, you're using your feet. I mean, every sport, you're using your feet, but American football, 99% of the time, you're using your hands and shoulders. But the field goals and the PATs, the only time you're using your feet. But yet we call it football, and we call soccer soccer. Just something to think about. Ball goes out of bounds at about the 49-yard line. It'll go out to the Bison. Now past the 20-yard line. Trying to keep it in, but not able to. And that was number 2, Godinez. 21-15 remaining in the first half. And that's going to be last touch by the Bison. Had a bad angle on it, really had no choice but to try to head it back towards the center. Instead it goes off his head and past the end line. Martinez has some players to pass to if he can get a good saucer pass. On his right is Villegas, the senior. Instead he just shoots it right up the middle. And it goes out to the 42. Stolen away briefly, but getting it back are the Grenadiers. That freshman is a real nice looking player. Under the age of 17, he's got a long way ahead of him and a good prep career ahead of him. That shot goes wide, though, and it goes out to the opposing netminder, as they say in hockey most of the time. That's going to be Kudrov. I apologize. It's actually Sempak. They're going to go with Sempak tonight. He has 3 wins, according to MaxPreps.com. Off the chest of number 20. And the ball goes out to the 40-yard line. Now out of bounds. Earlier tonight, the sophomore team defeated Buffalo Grove 5-2. Well, the only game we broadcast tonight, the varsity version, it's 0-0. Nobody to get it, and Elk Grove decides to clear it. So quick on midfield are the defending MSL champs. That, of course, stands for the Mid-Suburban League. Now to the 10-yard line. Still in bounds. Keeping it in at the 40. Goes off the knee of number 8, Adams. Villegas trying to center it. And it goes off of Bison Blair. Look like Mendez. Only one freshman on Buffalo Grove. That's Mario Torres. He's a freshman midfielder. Wearing number 4 tonight if we see him in action. Out to the right side. Just not enough offense from Elk Grove. But the way their defense is playing, if they can squeeze one past Sempak, they might be able to get a 1-0 victory. On his left foot, offside against the Grenadiers. The one sport where you just don't want to cherry pick, because the officials are always going to catch you. Because usually they're not going to give you the benefit of the doubt. If it's any time close, they're probably going to call it offsides. At least in hockey, you have the blue line, not so much tonight. So if it's looking like you cherry-picked, you probably did. That's really the storyline of tonight's game. Buffalo Grove had a 1-0 lead, but an offside against Escobar, and we're still tied. Nada to nada. That's a Spanish lesson for anybody who doesn't know what nada means. 17 minutes remaining. The Grenadiers against one of their rivals in the MSL, the Bison. This is a Bison team that has good offense. Earlier in the season, they destroyed Conant 4-0. Escobar had 2 goals in that game. Burke with 3 assists. And that, according to the Daily Herald and Max Preps, that was their last game coming into this one. And according to Conant's head coach, Jason Franco, Perez is obviously a great player, but watch out for Burke, number 14. He's a workhorse, and Escobar is super quick. But so far, the defense of Elk Grove is up to the task. A lot of hang time on that kick. If it was an NFL punt, he'd be making some big money. Not ready for it. Was number 10 for the Bison. That's Brian Perez. The junior midfielder stands at 5'10 and 145 pounds, soaking wet. Up in the air. Now to the 46. Picked up by the Bison up in the air. A lot of good headers by the Bison. Let's see if they can transition it into goals. A decent lead pass. They just ran out of real estate, and the ball trickles out of bounds. He might not be the best player in the MSL, but number 2, Luis, might have the best hair. After the game, I might have to talk to him how he does his hair, where he goes to style it. Out to the 35-yard line. And now here come the Bison. Lead pass, in stride, out comes the goalkeeper. Oh, another beautiful save. Martinez again, earlier in the game, he made a huge save, almost at point-blank range. This time, knowing that in a full head of steam, there was the lead pass and was able to just go all the way up, cheats up, and gets it, helping out his teammates. Elk Grove Village trying to either get a 1-0 victory or steal a 0-0 tie against the defending conference champs. Another lead pass. Looks like it might be an own goal. Oh, what a play! Making sure not to be an own goal, though, by number 3, Benitez. An accidental, because he thought that he had teammates behind him. Almost an accidental goal, but Benitez, the senior, saw it all the way and was able to clear it with the right foot. Elk Grove Village trying to hang on until halftime. We still got another 13 minutes and 48 seconds until the first session ends. Meanwhile, here we are at the 5-yard line. Another good play by the goalkeeper Martinez to clear it with his hands. Now up to the 50-yard line. Buffalo Grove not relinquishing their attack, but they just can't get it past the end line. The only time they did, it was illegal. And another goal kick for Martinez. So far today, the best striker for Elk Grove is number 20. Perez has had a quiet night. So far, Escobar's been the one guy to watch out for in the offensive end. Now at the 20-yard line, that lead pass, unsuccessful. And getting it out to the 21. But Buffalo Grove still has it. Elk Grove winning the ball possession battle by a slight edge, but not so much in terms of time on attack. Time on attack means anytime you're past the 50-yard line. So far, the Bison have always been in the Elk Grove zone for at least 75% of this game. On the right corner, centering pass, but a couple of Elk Grove defenders are there on the take. At the 15-yard line now, on his right foot, and he'll reset now to the left. Back to the right, couple of dribbles. Well defended. Didn't even have to slide tackle on that one. Played the body, made sure that the striker didn't get past him. Redirection attempt, and another great save by Martinez. Granted, there wasn't a lot on that redirection attempt. Burke was there, the senior midfielder, to try to redirect it into the net, but not enough on it, and Martinez is able to save it at the 11:52 mark. Or as they say in soccer, the 29th minute. And we'll get some substitutions for the Grenadiers. Looks like number 6, Ulysses Oria, is in the game. This was a late start. About 6:50 was the start time. We were supposed to start at 6:30. Still a lot earlier, though, than Friday Night Lights. Those games don't start until 7:30 p.m. Out to the 30-yard line, goes straight up in the air, and now to the 25. Onto the right foot. Elk Grove pleading their case, does number 7, Torres, but it looked like it was clearly off his foot, and Buffalo Grove still on the attack. And they're going to say another illegal slide tackle. Now this time, Talons tries to plead his case. And the officials say, no, you're just not playing legally. Got to change your approach. You're not playing within the fundamentals of the game. Remember, this was close to the place where Buffalo Grove almost scored less than a minute into the game. Redirection goes very high and past the end line. If this was American football, it went right through the uprights, but we're not playing American football tonight. That went about 5 feet above the crossbar. This is a beautiful shot by our videographers tonight. You can see how well or not so well the goalkeeper is getting that ball up in the air. If you have a chance, go on YouTube and search Sam Koch. He's a punter for the Baltimore Ravens, and how his punts are changing the game. He's doing knuckleball punts and a couple of others, and it's changing the way the Ravens are able to win football games because punt returners are not able to either catch the ball or they're not able to go after the ball because they're afraid of catching it. Centering pass, but well read by the netminder in Martinez. So far, Sean Martinez is stealing the show. The Bison are trying to figure him out. They got 9:02 remaining in the first half and a full 40 minutes in the second session to see if they get one past the end line. Martinez cheating up, and he'll get the ball on one bounce. Buffalo Grove has had their chances, including about 3 minutes ago, an own goal, but Benitez from behind made sure to not allow it to go into the net. Now with 8:30 to go. At the 10-yard line, fakes the shot. And on the football sideline. Centering pass. Went off the kneecap of a Grenadier player, looked like Seven Torres, and now it goes out of bounds. Full-length pass, it's a good one. Out to Talons. And now that pass out to the 35. Trying to clear it, but the Grenadiers are there to get it right back. Very rarely are the Grenadiers on the attack, but here they are, first time in about 10 minutes. And it's a short one because it's easily kept in by Sempak. Here we go for the Bison. Pleading his case for an illegal slide tackle. I sure thought it was legal. That just happens in soccer. As long as you're going for the ball, that's going to happen. I think it's just an inadvertent contact injury. But it's good gamesmanship by the Bison because when it's a 0-0 game, knowing that Elk Grove struggles on offense, try to plead your case and see if you can get another free kick. But if you're going to do that, you got to make sure not to get up right away. Because if you get up right away, the officials are like, see, I told you it was inadvertent contact. That's the problem with gamesmanship is even if you're not that injured, you want to stay down for a couple extra seconds to make it look like it was a clear illegal slide tackle. They're just going to play advantage, and Buffalo Grove's going to reset by passing it back to their netminder in Sempak. Couple of chances the Buffalo Grove Bison have had tonight. They just can't get it into the net. Neither team has lighted up the Jumbotron in terms of goals scored. Couple of shots on goal, and every time there's a shot on goal, Martinez is there to save it. Under 7 to go. Remember, no stoppage time, no extra time. It is not a conference playoff game or a state playoff game, so ties are definitely within the realm of possibility tonight. Long pass up in the air. Seemed like an eternity before it finally came down, and gravity made sure to allow that to happen, and now it's at the 30-yard line. Stolen away by the Grenadiers. Shot attempt, and it's blocked by number 7, Zapinski, senior defenseman. This is a Bison team that has played very good soccer. They've only lost one game in their last 5. One of those games, including a tie. You get 3 points for a win, 1 point for a tie. Of course, 0 points for a loss. So for Elk Grove, a tie would really help them as they're on a 4-game losing streak, which includes no ties in that 4-game losing streak. So a tie might be able to have them readjust on their season. But for that to happen, they got to make sure to get the ball out quick. They've done that most of the time, but a couple of times, as you would expect in a long soccer game, Buffalo Grove has had some lead passes with a full head of steam. Now at the 36th minute. And now Buffalo Grove has another advantage. Brian Perez. Will he try to score here from 22 yards out? He has a pretty good angle. The brick wall is about 7 yards back. Now 10 yards back. Instead, he passes it. Good pass, just missed. Whew, that was a beautiful setup by the Bison, but well defended by Martinez. Even if they got it on net, Martinez would have been there to save it. I like this goalkeeper in Sean Martinez. He might be a first or second team all MSL. More substitutions for the Grenadiers. All hands on deck as they try to either tie or beat the defending conference champs. Under 4 to go here at the home of the Grenadiers. .324 left, now past the 20-yard line, on his left foot. Centering pass, once again quickly cleared by the Grenadiers. Trying to keep it in, and he does, and it's a centering pass onside, and there to get it is Martinez. I don't know if that was a set play or if that was just inadvertent, but either way, it could have been a goal for the Bison. Keeping it at the last second, got it well up in the air, 30 yards on the pass, and he had a teammate there in front of the net, but Martinez saw it all the way and got the ball away quickly. Now under 3 to go. It looks like we're going to have a 0-0 tie in halftime. Kind of surprising when you consider how badly the Grenadiers have played. In their last 4 games, they've been outscored 8-1. Struggling to say the least, but maybe some home cooking can allow them to change their season. So far, so good. Got another half to play in this one, and a lot more games till the playoffs. If you're just joining us, the Bison have had their chances. A one-timer at point-blank range saved by Martinez, and they actually had a goal, but an offside called against Escobar, and we're still tied up at 0-0. Under 2 to go, the soccer version of the 2-minute warning. And just every time the Grenadiers try to get something going on offense, the Buffalo Grove Bison so quick with their defense and midfielders to get back. Helping out their goalkeeper in Sempak. Up in the air, headed it away by 14. That's Pelix. Now out to the 30-yard line. 1:30 to go. As the Buffalo Grove Bison trying to get their 6th win of the season. Another penalty against the Grenadiers. Might be a costly one as it's deep in their own area. Perez will take it again. At a bad angle, though, so he's definitely going to have to center it. Under a minute to go. Gets a good center, but goes off the back foot of a Grenadier player, and they'll clear it out. Every time that the Buffalo Grove Bison get some dead balls, they just can't capitalize, and when they do capitalize, they're not onside. Might be the last chance here for the Bison to get a goal before we go to halftime. Now on the attack are the Grenadiers. Good pass, 1-on-2, and played well from behind. Now under 5 to go, 3 seconds. Can they get one more shot before halftime? They won't, and that will do it. How about that? Elk Grove playing some great defense. The Buffalo Grove Bison can't believe it, including Perez and a slew of others. We go to halftime. 0-0 is our score. You're watching a broadcast of EG Television. We'll be right back after this intermission break. All right, the second half is about to begin as the Elk Grove Grenadiers will go on the attack. Kyle Smith alongside Beth Clem and the rest of our wonderful staff at the Elk Grove Television Studios bring you tonight's broadcast as the Elk Grove Grenadiers try to get their third win of the season or their first tie of the 2019 campaign. To do that, they're going to have to play wonderful defense like we saw in the first half. But actually, Elk Grove is getting a little bit lucky in how the Buffalo Grove Bison continue to be offside. Every time the Bison are on the attack, they kind of dig themselves their own hole by going offsides. 40-minute halves. We do have ties in soccer. No golden goal tonight as there are no overtime requirements since it's not a playoff game. First time tonight we've seen Joey Mattis. He's now in the game for Elk Grove on the right side. .38-58 remaining in the game. We're early on in the second half. Here at the home of the Grenadiers. Elk Grove looking for a call, and it looks like they're going to get it. That's an illegal slide tackle from behind. Getting beat on the play was Seven Zapinski, and he decided to try to slide tackle from behind. That is not according to the rules, and it's going to be a free kick for the Grenadiers. They haven't had a lot of them. And who better to do it than Jesus Benitez, who made sure to keep this a 0-0 game. Playing his own version of goalkeeper, the ball that was an inch away from going past the end line at the last second uses his right foot to slide tackle it out. And it's still a 0-0 score on the free kick. Not much of a scoring chance, and easily saved by the opposing netminder, Sempak. 37:45 to go in the second session. Nobody has been able to score. Escobar had one early on in the game, but an offside went for naught. Past the 40-yard line, the Grenadiers. Their version of soccer, a lot of defense and trying to get the other team out of sorts, make them play their game instead of what Buffalo Grove likes to play. Meanwhile, Buffalo Grove, they like to run and gun, and so far, not too much running. Now past the 30-yard line, went out of bounds, and it will be a sideline play for the Bison. A beautiful night in Elk Grove Village. Both teams over the years have been able to field some great soccer players. On the men's side, Buffalo Grove, Brian McBride, an alum on that 1988 state championship team, ended up playing for the national team, the United States. A couple of women have played in the National Women's Professional League. The Daily Herald wrote a very interesting article about it. It's Katie Naughton, who plays defender for the Chicago Red Stars. And then Kelly Hubley is on the Portland team. So both schools are very well known for having famous soccer alumni. You wonder if any of the players tonight will have a good college or even professional career. If Brian Perez keeps scoring goals like he has this season, he'll get some looks from some D2 or even D1 schools. I think why it's easier to get Illinois soccer players is, we have bad weather in November, but the boys' fall soccer season, you usually have good weather. October sometimes can get cold, but it really doesn't get really cold till like October 20th. And by that time, it's playoff season. So The problem with Northerners and Illinois baseball players not being able to make it to the next level, not really as much of an issue for soccer, because the season starts when it's really hot at the end of August and ends right before it gets cold. So not surprising that players from Illinois that played their prep career in the state, especially in the Chicagoland area, as Buffalo Grove and Elk Grove are both in Chicagoland, made it to the professional ranks. Centering pass easily cleared by the Grenadiers. Now the ball's at the 10-yard line. Now out to the 40, at the 45, and from behind, making sure that the offensive player couldn't get possession of it, but unfortunately he was able to get it out of bounds, and now on the attack of the Grenadiers. That shot, right through the uprights. Manny Pinero style. Unfortunately, it's not football, it's football, and that was way high and away from the crossbar. On that shot attempt was Gerardo Perez. Way high of the goal. Beautiful establishing shot by our videographers tonight. Shout out to Beth Clem and the rest of the staff. They do a wonderful job. Sempak really hasn't able to do a lot today, as his defense has been there to stop any chance of an attack by the Grenadiers. Actually, if Sempak wanted to, he could just read a book back there. It's been a very quiet night for Adam. But this is the style that the Grenadiers like to do. They just keep trying to frustrate you to the point where you have a lapse on defense, and then the Grenadiers try to take advantage. And here they are trying to take advantage at the 33-13 mark. At the 8th minute, shot blocked. It'll go out of bounds. Every time the Grenadiers are on offense, it's so hard for them. Meanwhile, Buffalo Grove, time and time again, they're able to get it less than 10 yards away from the goalkeeper. But for the Grenadiers, most of their shot attempts have been from 20 to 15 feet. Pass, headed up in the air, now at the 15-yard mark. Thought about a shot, instead decided to swing it to the left. Just not able to get a lot in front of the net, and that's cleared by Buffalo Grove. Couple of midfielders, only one striker, as he was clearly onside. Now on the right side of the pitch, and the ball goes out to the 8-yard line. Stop and start move, a good one. And now on the attack are the Grenadiers. In soccer, ball possession is so pivotal. Don't have to worry about getting checked or tackled as in football or hockey. So ball possession and try to set up your play and your offensive style is so key in this game. And that's what Elk Grove has been able to do. They haven't had the ball a lot tonight, but when they have not panicked and have played their game. Defense first, offense second. And they're just trying to hang on against the possibly more talented Buffalo Grove team, at least according to the stats. If Buffalo Grove ties tonight, they're still doing well, 3-1-2 in their last 6, but they would love to get another conference victory to go to 2-0 in the conference. This would be a huge tie for Elk Grove. Try to start something new as they've lost 4 in a row, out to the 30-yard line, and still plenty of time for the Bison. Maintain your composure and play your game. I know it gets hard, especially knowing that everything you do, that's offside against the Bison, but good job of staying with the play and making sure to put it in the net unless the officials tell you that the play was dead. We'll have a free kick inside the 10, actually inside the 5. But a bad angle, so he's going to have to center it. If he can score from there, he might be playing Division I soccer. I highly doubt he's going to try to shoot it. Not much air on it, and that's a dead ball as it hit the uprights. I'm surprised they were able to get that play off, as it was not in the air. It was clearly on the grass, but a lot of speed on Buffalo Grove. They were able to get to the ball quickly and almost got a goal out of it. Very rarely on a play like that will you see a straight pass, no saucer. That time it was a non-saucer pass, and they almost got it past the netminder, but still 0-0 at 30:07. At midfield, up in the air. We've seen a lot of play in the neutral zone, not too much inside of 30 yards. Now inside of 30, inside of 20. Tries to center it, and it's cleared by the Bison. The BGBs and the EGGs all tied at 0. There's Zajdlowski with it. Now out to Perez. Perez on his right foot. Give and go attempt to Perez. Now back to Perez on a beautiful pass from Zajdlowski. That shot still in front. Oh, almost goes in. But still can't get it past the end line. Was it last touched by the Grenadiers? And the officials say yes. The referees say it was last touched from behind. It's going to be a corner kick. First one of the night. Up in the air, easily saved by Martinez. Good job of keeping that ball in. If that goes past the end line, another corner kick. So making sure to catch it, making sure it doesn't go past the end line. Interesting decision by Buffalo Grove to shoot it out. Looked like he had time to reset. Instead, he shoots it way high and past the sideline. So now EGG is just going to take their time. Set up a play here at the 28:05 mark. Here, I think you're going to try to go with a give and go. See if you can get Buffalo Grove napping. At the 15-yard line, up in the air. Just not enough numbers by EGG as the Bison had 4 players around the ball in front of their goalkeeper. Penalty against the Grenadiers. The fans can't believe it. And meanwhile, that ends any chance of a scoring chance at the 28th minute. Sorry, the 28:00 mark. 12th minute. A 0-0 game as the goalkeeper in Sempak will try to get it up in the air and get it past the 50-yard line. And he does. Kicked it at the 15, last touch at the 30. 55-yard kick, and eventually it goes out on the end line. Another corner kick for the Bison. Now under 27 to go. Remember, that's a full 27 minutes. No extra time, as you'll see in Premier League. You just got to wonder, is there too much time on the clock? And you're just thinking Buffalo Grove's eventually going to get it past Martinez. But so far, so good for Elk Grove. But that's just an eternity on the clock, especially because Elk Grove, once they get it past the 50, their ball possession isn't that great. Up in the air. Now back out to the Elk Grove zone. Perez with it, lost it. Now back out to the 35. Held on the play, penalty against the Bison. As Biswas won't even plead his case, clearly holding. And if you grab and throw down, that's a red card. He only grabbed, so no yellow, no red, it's just a penalty. If it's a blatant hip check, at the very minimum, it's a yellow. That was not a hip check, though. Just a little inadvertent contact, and they call the penalty advantage for the Grenadiers. Ball at the 39. Right-footed kick. It's a beauty. Not a lot of topspin on it, and easily cleared by the Bison. Ooh, that one's going to sting in the morning right off the kneecap. You wear shin guards for a reason, but there's no protection on your knee. That one's going to sting. Just reminds me of what happened to Christian Yelich last week. Took one off the knee as the Brewers are in a pennant race. Off the head. Looked like he hip checked him from behind. There were defenders around, so there won't be a penalty kick, but either way, it was last touched by the Grenadiers, so the Bison aren't going to argue. They're just going to do the corner kick. And the way their corner kicks have going, seems like their corner kicks are going better than their free kicks. Up in the air, stays there forever, and it's in the net. Martinez can't believe it. His only blunder of the night, it was in his hands, and then he dropped it, and a rebound chance for the Bison, and they take advantage. Oh, that's a tough one for Elk Grove to swallow as a huge goal for the Bison as we're allowing our public address announcer to announce who scored. The Bison get a big goal, 1-0. Well, we kept asking, could Elk Grove hang on? Now they got to score a goal, and they got to play great defense. Remember, they haven't scored more than a goal since the opening night against Niles North. They got shut out in their last game, 2-0 against Barrington. The game before that, an embarrassing loss, 6-1 to Wheeling. This time they played decent soccer, but they expected Martinez to be perfect, and nobody's perfect. And the one time Martinez had a blunder, it went into the net. But you also got to credit Buffalo Grove. They've been very impressive on their corner kicks, and their corner kicks, they're not even lifting it in the air. It's all straight on the grass passes that's getting through the Elk Grove defense. But we still got a lot of time at 23-34. Buffalo Grove leads by 1. As we got a nice little hero shot of number 10. Up in the air, an easy save by 35. Little underhand pass out to the 30-yard line. Beautiful hero shot by our videographer. And goes out to the sideline. 23:05 is the Bison leading by 1. Not the most beautiful game by the Bison, but they'll take any victory they can get, especially in conference play. Now Elk Grove has to play not to lose. They still got to be aggressive. I know you don't want to give up another goal because that would almost seemingly put the game out of reach, but you still got to be aggressive on offense. Now that it's 1-0 instead of 0-0, you can't be too cautious. Here's a list of victories for Buffalo Grove this season. They won the opener at Highland Park 4-2. Then they lost a tough one to Barrington 1-0. Barrington looks like they're going to be tough to beat in terms of their defense. They also shut out Elk Grove 2-0. A 2-1 win over Glenbrook North. A tough loss 3-0 to Lions. Then they won 5-2 over Waukegan. 2-1 defeat to New Trier. And since then, good soccer. 3-2 win over Hoffman Estates. 4-0 over Conant. And a 1-1 tie over Lake Forest. After tonight, they have a home game against Fremd on the 19th, and then they go on the road to Hersey. A win tonight would keep them undefeated in conference play, 2-0. How about that? Still in the air. Sempak with some moves. If he can do that, imagine what he can do with a hacky sack. By the way, if you've never seen the movie She's All That, watch it. It's great. There's a great hacky scene in there. Even if you don't like soccer, you're going to love that scene. And unfortunately, this is part of the game. As 21 Mattis, who didn't even play in the first half, he plays in the second half, and it looks like that's going to end his night early. As good gamesmanship and sportsmanship by both teams, and Mattis is going to have to go to the bench. Perez gave him a round of applause, as that will end the night for Perez. surprisingly, and we'll see some substitutions here. Here comes Tyle, number 11, and 14, Burke. Burke started the game, went to the bench, and he'll sub back in. 21-52 remaining in the second half. It looks all but impossible for Elk Grove to come back the way they played on offense and how good the midfield defense is tonight by the Bison. They're getting back quickly. More numbers on defense than numbers on offense. Just a lot of speed on Buffalo Grove. It's so essential to soccer to have speed and conditioning. Because if you can get back on defense quickly, that means you can cheat up more on offense. That means your midfielders can cheat up a little bit on offense because with their long strides and quickness, they can get back quicker than a normal team can. That's such an advantage to have in soccer, and that's what's happening tonight for the Bison. Centering pass. Ball still loose on the left side, and it's blocked by 7. That's Hector Torres, and we'll have a corner kick. This is a team that averages about 2.2 goals per game and even 2 assists per game. Decent goal differential this season. Only average about 1.6 goals against. 20 goals, 18 assists, 58 points on the season. About halfway home with the home team Grenadiers trailing by just uno. Sempak has played in 6 games this year with 3 wins. Story of the night, especially in the second half, Buffalo Grove continuing to be on the attack. Shot from about 20 feet and goes wide. This Buffalo Grove team, mostly led by Burke and Perez. Burke with 4 goals, 3 assists on the season. But other people have contributed. Escobar had 2 goals coming in tonight. Would have had a third if he had stayed on side. That was less than a minute into the game. They called offsides, and we stood at a 0-0 score until about 5 minutes ago. Manchila, Adams, Tylini, Zidlowski, Porzetkowski have all scored this season, as has Coughlin. Perez and Burke have had quiet nights, and Perez will finish off the game on the bench. The Grenadiers just not getting enough on offense. Can they make the adjustments in the last 18 minutes? And will you see a situation where the goalkeeper will come out of the net and try to score one? This is a Buffalo Grove team. According to Burke, they played 4 top 25 teams in the state of Illinois. After coming out just with a 2-2 record to start the season, he said, according to the Daily Tribune, that was a wake-up call for us, and we have to come out and play hard from the very beginning. And that's what they did tonight. They played hard from the opening whistle and almost scored. What is going on? Okay. I thought that he was trying to play the ball in the sideline. That would be a red card, but he was just telling him, look, man, the official said it's our ball, not yours. Now the ball goes out to the Grenadiers. Well, you always hate to say silver linings once you get to varsity because it's all about winning games and competition. But for Elk Grove, knowing that they were on a 4-game losing streak, this might start to change the tide for their season. But in order for that to happen, a lot easier said than done, but they got to find ways to put the ball in the net. As simple as that, because the defense is there. Good midfield play, just the strikers and forwards not getting it done. 16:35 remaining as they took off the scoreboard. It'll be scoreboard will be back in a second here, folks, and there it is. I don't know why Elk Grove is taking their time. I mean, there's no stoppage time, so they got to get this going. Up in the air, their best chance of the night, and a bad break for Elk Grove. Heads it the wrong way, and they'll have to reset at the 20-yard line. 15:58 to go, a 1-0 score in favor of Buffalo Grove. If you're just joining us, well, only one mistake for Elk Grove tonight, and unfortunately it's for the goalkeeper, who besides that mistake has been phenomenal all night. A corner kick right into the hands of Martinez. He dropped it, and a Buffalo Grove player was there to kick it into the end line. That's where we stand, 1-0. Under 16 to go, the Grenadiers, another chance, another free kick. A tough angle. Can they center it and either get a shot or a rebound after Buffalo Grove can't clear it? Straight shot. A lot of zip on that ball, but a good save by Sempa. A lot of zip on that ball. Surprising at this level. But remember, a lot of these kids play travel soccer, sometimes as young as 6 years old. Martinez comes out of the net. A little bit surprising he did that, as it was going to be a bad angle, and it goes off Martinez, another corner kick, the 4th one of the night for Buffalo Grove. 14:55, now 14:50 as Buffalo Grove. Now they can play the clock. The clock is their friend, especially knowing there's no extra time, no stoppage time. You can't do a delay a game, but what you can do is slow down your offense. And until the official tells you to speed things up, continue to play your game and no need to rush things. Elk Grove had a couple of chances. For a full minute, they just couldn't put the ball in the net. Oh, man, that's going to sting right off the head, as he wasn't expecting it. Never feels good for your brain and your brain cells when you head a ball, but when you're not even expecting the ball and it goes off the side of your head, it's going to hurt even more. 14:04 remaining, a 1-0 score for the Bison. Ooh, that's going to sting. Slow to get up, and finally gets up is number 19, Casillas. And now with under 14 to go, the Bison lead by just uno. But knowing how good the defense has been for the Bison, that might be all that they need. They lost 1-0 to Barrington. Now they lead 1-0 over the Grenadiers. Slide tackle and a good one. Now the ball out to the 45-yard line. Just so much numbers from the Bison. Back on their back check, and the ball goes out of bounds. As it was last kick by Perez. So if they bring Perez back in, I thought for sure he was going to be gone. Or is that 18? I can't tell if it's 10 or 18. Remember, Perez is number 10. He left the game. Biswas is 18. Either way, the Grenadiers are on the attack. Under 13 to go. There's the center. And the header by Godnez. There's the ball in front. Can they get a shot off? Now at the 15-yard line. Can't clear it. That shot, another block. 5th one of the night for the Bison. Ball goes out to the 29-yard line. Oh, that one stings. Did a foot get in there? The nearest official says yes. Definitely not a yellow card. He was trying to get the ball, but it will definitely be a penalty against Buffalo Grove. That's just part of the game, especially with spikes. It's going to sting. Going after the ball from behind. Accidentally got the chest. And the Grenadiers are going to play advantage here with under 13 to go. Don't have many chances left, do the Grenadiers. They played a great game. Martinez has been the best one of them all, but one mistake. And unless the Grenadiers can tie it up, it'll be a tough 1-0 loss at home. Clock does stop, though, because it's a major penalty. Everybody in front, about 10 yards in front of the goalkeeper. Taking the kick will be Benitez. He's had a very good game. Made sure that an own goal did not go in. That was with about 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Near the center circle at the 45-yard line. Going to try to get something in the air, and they do. A lot of power on it. Sempak. Easy catch by the goalkeeper. That's what they wanted, just went a little bit too far. On the attack are the Bison. And another corner kick, 5th one of the night. So we didn't see a single corner kick in the first half, and now 5 in the second session. That's a huge advantage for Buffalo Grove, because even if they don't score, at least it kills time off the clock and forces Buffalo Grove to go the full length of the pitch. And of course, if you do score, that's pretty much the game. Set something up. This time they put it in the air, and it's easily defended by the Grenadiers. The only time that a goal was scored tonight was off a corner kick, and it was actually a blunder by the goalkeeper. A beautiful night at Elk Grove Stadium. We're 3 days away from the beginning of fall, and I hope we get a nice fall this year. We had a nice summer. After that awful rain we had for the first 3 weeks of June, it was a beautiful summer. It's been a very nice end of summer. Hopefully we get a nice fall. Maybe even Indian summer, where we get nice summer weather at the beginning of October. I still remember that playoff game when the White Sox played the Red Sox in 2005, where it was 95 degrees outside. Past the sideline, under 10:30 to go. Godinez will take this one. Another save by Sempak. He's been very good between the pipes tonight. Has not been able to get many saves tonight, but every time that he has to make a big play, he's made it. And then some. Out to the 40-yard line. 6:42 remaining. Sorry, 9:42. Now the ball out to the 44. Now out to the 20. Now out to the 33. And a steal. Once again by Benitez. He's a sneaky little player. Finds ways to make plays from behind. Now the ball out to midfield. Stop and start move. Trying to get it past 2 defenders. Deflected away at the last second. Oh, nice play. In midair, able to get the side of his foot on it. And now at the 9-minute mark, it's still 1-0. Still on the attack are the Bison. Shot way high. Good lead pass, though, and it'll be another goal kick at 8:45. Well, for Elk Grove, what other adjustments can they make? Try to get it to your seniors. You got Martinez and net. Godinez, Benitez, Talons, Villegas, Oria, Perez. This is the time when senior leadership is at its finest. Got to find a way to battle your way through it and score a goal. Really, the best player for most of the night has been the freshman forward. And with 7:52 remaining, you got to think, knowing you're on a 4-game losing streak and knowing how great your defense has been, do you decide to try to pull your goalkeeper and try to get one past the goalkeeper? Long pass. And easily defended by the Bison. They'll clear it out. 2-on-2 the other way, making it 2-on-3 now. But so much speed from Buffalo Grove. Start and stop move. Has an open net. It's in. That should do it. Well played by the Bison. So much speed on the play. Brian Perez make that now 9 goals on the season. And that should do it. A 2-0 victory for Buffalo Grove. But unless they single-handedly collapse here, it'll be a victory for the Bison. Just too much Bison, especially on the attack. Elk Grove, when they had their chances, they could not connect, and the Bison finally let it happen in the second half. It was 0-0 coming into the second session, but a corner kick goal, and there were numbers on defense for Elk Grove. Hits the chest of a player, and that's number 8 for Buffalo Grove. Shane Adams falls to the pitch. There'll be a penalty against the Grenadiers with under 7 to go. Not much more that Elk Grove can say than they played their hearts out, but they got to find something on offense, and they got to find something quick as we're getting towards the middle of the season now. As a round of applause for Adams, he's limping off the pitch. He had a decent night tonight. Really, besides the goal that Perez scored, he had a pretty quiet night tonight. His evening was almost cut short because of a coaching decision to take him out at the 15th minute. Head coach of Elk Grove, Alex Stavropoulos, probably telling his team, look, guys, there's really nothing more to say than we got to find a way to get the ball in the net. It's as simple as that. Everything else is coming to fruition. These last couple of games, we just can't score. A 1-0 defeat to Barrington, and right now we trail 2-0. And it looks like that's going to be the final score unless something else happens. Sean Martinez, pretty good night. The first goal of the night was definitely a soft goal, but the second one was just Perez playing excellent offense. Stop and start move, get space and separation from the defender, and then able to get it into the net. Under 6 to go. Mathematically, Elk Grove would have to score a goal every 3 minutes. Now trying to put the icing on the cake are the Bison, but easily defended by the Grenadiers. Now at the 46, Perez, able to swing it left. Now past the 20, past the 15. The freshman's pass is a good one. Now to the 2-yard line, centering pass. They have a chance, shoot it! They just can't get a shot off. The one time the freshman did make the right play, and finally, Buffalo Grove able to clear it. Just like hockey, when you get that close, don't think about it, just shoot. Best chance of the night for the Grenadiers, and they can't capitalize, and it's still a shutout opportunity for Sempak, going for his 4th win of the year. Since starting off a little bit slow at 2-2, Buffalo Grove looking like the defending conference champs, and they're looking to do more than that this season as after a tough first-round loss to Round Lake. Out to the 48, off his left foot. And if you're wondering what kind of green that the Grenadiers wear on their jerseys, it's forest green. Not dark green, forest green. The forest green and gold. Beautiful jerseys that the Grenadiers have. 4:06 remaining. Ball at the 45. Well arching kick, high in the air. And he's still out of his net. Well, I don't know what Martinez is doing. Wide open net. But luckily, the centering pass doesn't go for anybody on the Bison. If there's one thing that I don't like so much about Martinez's game, I think he comes out of that a little bit too much. There's times to come out, obviously, when it's all out. If there's a breakaway chance, then yeah, you have to come out. But when it's a bad angle and you have a teammate right next to you, and it's, you don't have to come out on that. And the other time he came out, about 30 seconds ago, the ball was 15 feet out. Not the greatest punt in the world. Only goes about 20 yards, and ball now at the 40-yard line. Under 3:20 to go, ball past the 30-yard line of the Bison, and Sempak will just pick it up and go back on offense to the Bison. Ball now at the 33-yard line at the 40. Kick back out inside the Bison end and then back out to the Grenadier zone. High up in the air. And it's picked up by the freshman, McKenna. Out to the 35. Both players fall down. Inadvertent contact and no penalty. 2:29 left in the second session. A 2-0 lead for the Bison as the BGBs leading the EGGs 2-0. Buffalo Grove trying to set up their defense. If I had to guess, I think they're telling their guys, watch out for a ball in the air, and Sempak, don't be afraid to just attack and catch it, even if it's at the 10-yard line. Oh, good shot, but well defended by Sempak. Saw it all the way, was not screened, and here we go again. Perez, so fast. Another attempt from Perez, and this time saved by Martinez. Now that's a good time to come out of the net because you know how good Perez is with his shots. Ouch. That one stings. Goes right off his shin guard. Grenadiers looking for a yellow card. Looked like inadvertent contact. No yellow card. That'll stop the clock, though, at 1:25. You can see a lot of huffing and puffing from the EGGs as they've been on the defense for most of the night. Their midfielders have really been playing defense tonight. Not too much midfield and definitely not a lot of striking. It's been a lot of defending. And after all that defending, they still trail 2-0. One of the goals from Perez, he now has 16 points on the season. He made it 2-0. In the air. Now, if you're doing live stats at home, that's a pass, not a shot. The only time you would call that a shot is if it's less than 20 yards. In Premier League, probably 25 to 30 yards could you consider that a shot, but at this level, it's definitely a pass. Under a minute to go. Now Elk Grove playing for pride's sake, trying not to get shot out at home. As Buffalo Grove can now just play a little bit cautious and try to give their goalkeeper a much-deserved shutout. Martinez was decent, but he was outplayed by Sempak, but really he was just outplayed by Buffalo Grove. They were on the attack for most of the night. Elk Grove just could not get the ball in on their few chances. Elk Grove played their game, and they got Buffalo Grove to play most of their game tonight. Just when you don't score, there's only one thing that can happen, a 0-0 tie. When that doesn't happen, you lose. So got to find ways to get it in the net. They're going to be shut out unless they score here. One hopper into Sempak, and Sempak will take his time. Probably not even going to throw it. 3 seconds, he'll just do a little pooch punt, and that will end it. So that ends tonight's broadcast. A 2-0 victory, well-deserved for Buffalo Grove. The defending conference champions, they improved to 4-1-1 in their last 6. And for the home crowd, for Elk Grove, what else can you say? But they got to find ways to score, and they got to find ways to score in a hurry because we're nearing the halfway point of the season, and they're not getting it done on the offensive end. So for Beth Clem, Bob Murphy, Terry Baina, Ross Rowe, Debbie Dennison, Scott Mayernick, Joey Santowski, Vanessa Mency, I'm Kyle Smith signing off. A beautiful night here at Elk Grove High School. Final score, Buffalo Grove 2, Elk Grove 0. We'll see you again on Elk Grove Television.